Bicycle touring is in my blood, and when I'm not on a tour, I'm thinking about and planning for the next ride. Touring isn't just about the destination. It's about the journey, the new people you meet, and the amazing things you encounter. I was lucky enough to find two awesome companions on my first tour, Michael and Sal, and we have been together on 6 tours so far. We truly bonded on that first ride, and we lift each other up and offer support when we're down. It's an amazing experience that forces you to deal with both the physical and mental challenges of life on the road. Grand Fondo bike racing was my life until 2015, when hip pain forced me to get hip replacement surgery. Unfortunately, I developed a severe case of sepsis shortly after surgery. With no guarantee of a successful outcome, I made a promise that if I recovered, I would start bike touring after reading all about it during my recovery. Planning and preparing for a bike tour is an adventure in itself. Rather than just hopping on a plane with your bike and gear, I really like to plan it out so we have the best chance of success. Selecting the overall route, planning the daily distance, the interesting stops, and meal planning are just a few of the things to consider. Bringing the minimum amount of gear for all types of weather is probably the most important thing to consider. There's nothing worse than being unprepared for any elements you could encounter. Some days, you just don't feel like going out riding. It could be really great conditions, but for whatever reason, the motivation is just not there. It's during these days that I just push myself to get out the door and do it. And once I'm on the bike, it's like I'm in a whole different world. I have to think that every kilometer I put in is another kilometer closer to starting my next tour. I really love to train for my next tour in the Vancouver area. You can experience all types of terrain and conditions, the flats, hill climbing and descents, on both gravel and pavement. The weather here can vary from sunny, rainy, and even snowy conditions. These are all types of road conditions that you really should expect to see on a bike tour. Even though I always go on a bike tour with my biking comrades, I prefer to go solo when I'm training. It allows me to get into the zone of long-distance bike riding and use this time to mentally focus on the conditions that I may face in my tour. I don't think there's been an activity that has had as much of an impact on me as bicycle touring. I never tire of the long days in the saddle, and as the sun sets, I know I will wake up the next morning with a renewed sense of excitement of what that day will bring.